Right there, doing about 90 in the left lane. All right, so. All right, well anyway, look, I'm going out for a ride today here. And I gotta admit, I've been reading a lot of comments on the various forums, lane splitter, ride apart forums, about people wrecking and how they learn to wear protective gear, blah, 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 blah. Then I read an article on Lane Splitter by a guy who's a professional motorcycle journalist, been riding for years and years. Used to be a racer. And he quit racing because of a wreck he had at Willow Springs. Admittedly, by his own admission, was never really good at it, but just an amateur, you know, struggling to make it as a pro. And he wrecked one time at Willow and grabbed too much front brake coming into a turn at about 135 miles an hour and dumped it, and then he talked about the extensive injuries he suffered as a result. Now, one of my things, and this has always been one of my things, is I've just seen too many people get hurt while wearing full gear to think that wearing full gear is a solution to the injuries that you get while wrecking. And then lately I've been hearing people who were wearing full gear suffered incredible injuries and talked about how, oh, I wish I'd been wearing one more piece of full gear. I wasn't wearing knee pads, you know, one guy's saying. Now, I've never really been anyone who says, oh, you gotta wear full gear because, you know, when you have your accident, it'll keep you from getting badly injured. I never believed that. I've just heard and seen too many people getting killed, severely injured, whatever, to think that wearing full gear is gonna make that much of a difference. And then not too long ago, recently, there were two guys that got killed at a race. Not even in the race, in the start of the race, okay? They hit at the start, and they both died. I think it was a Moto 2 race or something like that. So, you know, and then when you see people, and recently on this stretch of road, or near the stretch of road, 216, 32, I've seen a lot of guys doing street racing on 95, and now that guy racing up in his Mercedes at easily 100. Well, I'd say easily 85. Probably closer to 185. And while I think that the guy who's talking about he quit racing because of this crash and the next crash which he had, which he didn't hurt himself, but he did scrape some skin off his hand the second time, because his gloves came off again when he wrecked. And it just kind of tells me people really don't learn. They don't learn from this whole accident thing. And you read, and in that article I read comment after comment after comment after comment about people who had wrecked, been severely injured, wrecked, been severely injured, and then finally quit riding. You know, finally decided, oh, I'm going to quit riding. And like I said, I've seen guys street racing right here on this road. I was recently driving somewhere the other day to a park after work, and these two guys passed me. One guy passed me before I got onto the road. He was doing about 85, you know, in a turbocharged Integra late model, and you just hear him woo, flying down the road as I got on the highway. And then, sure enough, I pull onto the highway, onto the road. It was a road just like this. And I pulled over into the center lane, and I had to get to the left lane to make my turn. And something told me, don't go in the left lane, don't go in the left lane. And I looked, and sure enough, a guy in like a black, some kind of Japanese sports car, I couldn't tell what it was, just absolutely blew by me in the left lane. I didn't even have time to see him. I wasn't on my bike, I was in my car. I mean, he just absolutely hosed by me, following this other guy. And, you know, it was just before dark, right in the tail end of rush hour, and man, if I had been in that left lane, if I'd pull over that left lane like I normally do and barely take a look, that guy would have smashed into me so hard it wouldn't even have been funny. And I've had guys out here, when I'm riding my bike on this road, this is 32 west of the Beltway, west of 95, sorry. Guy, you know, challenged me to a race right here in this section of road coming back the other way, blocking off the left lane. People are just like, you know, leaning back, rearing back, looking at us, and he's daring me to race him. I had no intention of racing, no desire to race him whatsoever, but he kept prompting me and prompting me and prompting me to race, and finally he just took off. I'm like, you know, dude, I'm not going to be coming out here racing you on a simple little 2-lane in the middle of the day. The problem is that some of these kids get too much money and too much time, and you see a lot of them out here racing around in cars. And you go, oh, that's dangerous. Well, I see a lot more people out here racing around in cars than I do in bikes. I see a lot more people out here getting into accidents in cars than I do in bikes. And that's basically because there are a lot more people driving out here than there are riding motorcycles. I'm not going to say I've never seen an accident on a motorcycle. I've never seen anybody get into an accident. I've never seen anyone actually get into an accident, but I've seen guys, you know, lying dead on the side of the road. Saw this one guy definitely wearing a, you know, full race jacket and a helmet and gloves and everything, and just curled up, lying right there in the median strip right there. Not this one, but, you know, down in 301 going down into Virginia. But let me tell you the most fucked up accidents I've seen. I was driving home from work the other day, pulling out of Baltimore, and I saw an accident on the right side of the road. There was a truck and another car on the highway. The truck was on the other side of the Armco. The car was past him down in a ditch, and the other car was behind them. And I was just thinking, man, what if that had been a bike, the guy had gone down over the side of the road there, he'd been down in that ditch, God knows what would have happened to him. But the whole point is, if you're going to drive like an idiot and get into accidents, do not rely on safety gear to protect you. You hear all these people talking about all the stories they get into on bikes. That's the injuries that they get while wearing safety gear. Okay? And they go, oh, just imagine how much worse it would have been if you hadn't. No, it wouldn't have been a lot worse. It wouldn't matter if you're not wearing safety gear or not, you know, between whether you tear your rotator cuff, destroy your shoulder, break all your ribs. Safety gear is not going to stop you from having that kind of damage, and not wearing safety gear is not going to stop you from having that kind of damage. It's not going to cause you to have that kind of damage. What's going to cause you to have that kind of damage is getting into an accident in the first place. Maybe I'm just lucky. I don't know. One of the first things I did when I rode a motorcycle, the very first thing I did was lock up the front wheels and low side it at about 20 miles an hour, wearing no safety gear at all, not even a helmet. And I guess, you know, that was my rude introduction to how to manage the front brake properly, and how to respect the front brake. Absolutely dry road, absolutely dry pavement, nice day, and I just came down into this dead end, and I just kept squeezing the brakes. The bike didn't seem like it wanted to stop. And you learn, you know, very quickly, bikes takes longer to stop than bicycles. They just don't stop that well. And I'm pulling the brake, and you know, the next thing I know, bam, it just goes down. I felt the front wheel slide, and the steering twitched a little bit, and the next thing I know, I'm sliding on my right side. But the most fucked up accident I have ever seen was right here, coming the other way. There's a merge here on the other side of this tree. You see where that lane splits right there? Up here it merges from another road that joins it coming in this way. And at that merge, there were 4 cars on top of the Armco. The last time I came down here. One of them was facing the wrong way and had slid on the Armco. 2 or 3 of them were sitting next to it, and one of them was on the other side of the street. And the guy was pulling his daughter out of the car. The guy in a BMW, silver BMW, was facing the wrong way down in the ditch, right in the Armco. And I said to myself, Jesus Christ, beautiful Sunday afternoon. Here these people are getting into accidents on a simple merge, nothing more than a merge, and down go 4 cars. I said, man, that's all it takes for people to get into accidents. That's all it takes. The world is just a dangerous place full of bad drivers. That's all there is to it. And you just have to watch out for that. Now, the other thing that I guess I've had an advantage in is that I've been professionally trained in a defensive driving class. I have had professional driving experience on a few fronts. And one of the things that you learn in this defensive driving class is you always assume responsibility for any accidents you get into. That's what they told us as a company policy. If you get into an accident, it's your fault. We're not going to listen to any kind of excuses for why it happened. And I've tried to promote that theory also, and people have like, oh man, I can't believe it. Somebody T-bones you. How are you going to say that's my fault? And I don't know, maybe it's just, part of riding a motorcycle, part of having common sense, part of wanting to not get hurt, and part of my training. But I don't ever blame anybody else when I get into an accident. Yeah, I know I let it happen somehow. I did something wrong to let it happen. But I've just seen way too much pushback, way too much. I think it was right here, that section of Armco up there on the left. I've seen way too much pushback from too many people who just refuse to admit that they got into an accident and it was their fault. Just refuse to admit that, the guy who hit them, that T-boned them, was their fault when they were riding through a parking lot and they came out from behind a big car and the car didn't see them and just crushed them. And they said, oh, he couldn't see me, I couldn't see him, but it was his fault. Look, if you're riding around and you can't see ahead of you, what do you think is going to happen? 2 things, one of 2 things. Either no one's going to hit you or someone's going to hit you. Someone's going to come out from behind that blind spot and knock the shit out of you. So you have to be careful when you come out on blind spots. You just have to be careful. If you're riding down a road like this and it's 2 lanes and someone pulls out the pass and crushes you, well, guess what? That's your fault. You've got to be aware that people are going to pull out the pass that don't have enough room, mistake the distance between you and them, don't judge the speed correctly, and just crush you. You have to anticipate this stuff. You have to ride defensively on a motorcycle because you are the one who's going to get creamed, not the other driver. The other driver is in a car. The other driver has 4,000 pounds of steel around him. You do not. If you have nothing to protect you, in terms of your machine, you have to drive with your mind. You have to ride like your life depends on your judgment, because it does depend on your judgment. It's not going to depend on your safety gear. It's going to depend on exactly how well you ride, how well you anticipate, and how well you avoid shit that could pop up and kill you. And if you don't do that, sooner or later you're going to get absolutely fucking crushed. So anyway, yeah, I got on the bike today. I was absolutely apprehensive. and I said, man, you know, I'm really, really a little bit scared riding. And then I reminded myself of my constant mantra. That's a good thing. If you're not scared when you're riding, you're dangerous. And this bike is not the easiest bike to steer. I mean, it's a handful to ride, which requires extra concentration, extra reserve. You have to be really, really careful with it. It requires real power on the control inputs to get it to turn. So, it's a beautiful day, a little bit dry today, oddly. But we're going to go out here and ride this road, and I'm going to ride the road that I didn't get to record the last time. So, let me save this. I just wanted to make that one mention. Don't act like it's not your fault. Act like it's always your fault. You might have a chance. About 5 more minutes to go here. I think I've got my timing down on this camera. I got about an hour and a half of recording time on my battery. So I just use about 10 minutes at least. So we're coming down across the Liberty Reservoir on 32, straight out 32. And we're going to go up to the Pretty Boy Reservoir and cut over. And I'm going to go back to where I was on my last video when I recorded the end of the ride. And we're going to look at the beginning of the ride. So now, come on, bus. This thing just does not want to turn to the right. It's like handicap when it comes to turning to the right. Ugh. I think there's just like too much wrong with this frame and needs a new frame or suspension or something. So anyway, I think of my old bike had definitely had a preference turning one way versus the other, but that was because the front wheel was at least an inch out of line to the right. Anyway, so we're going to come up here, we'll hit where there's an amusement. Hopefully that Ferris wheel is still there. I think I can still find it otherwise. But this graded a little bit. Then take that road and we'll just try to survive it. 32, just go 32 to 91. Luckily my memory, my visual memory is better than my route memory, because I saw the plates, I said, all right, I got to turn here. So we take 91 across, and we got to make a left somewhere down there. 91 still. Now, I just don't understand why people think sport bikes are not good for riding. Now, I see this guy up here, and he's looks like he's a Harley guy, maybe a Goldwing, I can't tell from behind. I personally don't like sitting upright all day, you know, like that. It makes my butt hurt, my back hurt. You get a different kind of pain than you do on a sport bike, but a sport bike, as long as your knees aren't too high, you're not leaning too far forward, because then you do get a lot of pain in your neck. I definitely remember this church. Like, if it's too low, yeah, it can be a pain. But a sport bike with a little bit lower pegs and a little bit, I wouldn't even say a little bit lower, because only the 600s are really so bad. The handlebars, yeah, you don't want to be leaning so far you have to hold your head up with your neck. That's a little too extreme. It really does get a little bit too much. Although it does work well at, you know, 85, 90 miles an hour. You know, that's not the speed you're normally riding at. That's where it gets to be a little bit too much. So I've rented a Gixxer 1000 that was like that, an R1 that was like, R1 it was, you know, you're up on your hands and knees basically. Hands and feet, I would say, on the R1, the 2005 R1 I rode. That was a little bit too much, but I still don't think it was a riding position that really bothered me as much as for the R1. In fact, I was riding it on like a 95-degree day, and it was just sweltering, and I was getting smoke from the underseat pipes, and it was really just too much heat. But in the Gixxer, they both had the same problem with the bars being too low, and they both really hurt my neck. But At highway speeds, it's not so bad. You really don't have that much trouble holding your neck up when your head up at highway speeds. And it actually works pretty well. So I'm not super against a really hands-forward riding position, except for riding on roads like this, back roads like this, where it's just, you're just kind of cruising along doing 35 to 60 miles an hour at the most. Then it just gets to be a little bit too much. Now, on the other hand, when you're riding at high speeds, 85 for a sustained amount of time, bars low gets to be too much too, and it just is a real pain in the ass. You're just constantly struggling to hang onto the bike. So anyway, this ride hasn't been so bad all the way from, I would say, Frederick Road, junction is 70, heading west. You know, it hasn't been bad at all. And I don't see why anyone would really be against riding it on a super sport or a leader bike, as long as they had the bars adjusted to be, you know, up a little bit more than normal. It would be fine, honestly. So let me save a little bit of this. I'm going to need about 15 minutes to record this route that we're going to take. And this is coming into town, and it gets kind of tedious here anyway. 99 Panigale last year for demo ride. And I actually like the riding position. It's not that aggressive. I like the bike. I just wish I had known how to switch it into touring mode and leave it there, because it probably would have been fine as far as the throttle surge. I like the 899 Panigale also. It was a nice balance, the front rear balance between the front tire and the rear size that the 1199 didn't have. It was definitely an enjoyable sport bike for cruising around, and I can see why those two bikes, I've seen a lot of them lately, a lot of people riding them around here lately. Probably the 899 or the 841 monsters. And I can certainly understand their appeal. I think they're a little bit loud, but they're not bad bikes, not bad to ride on at all. And I certainly could see buying one and enjoying one. And they're not even that expensive compared to your average, you know, BMW, the new R1 or anything like that. Not something I would complain about. I think we need to go this way. Whoa, see, that was normally how you end up in the fucking bushes. But again, that's the benefit of going not too fast. Not faster than one needs to go. And then the second thing is, certainly not going faster than you have available space. Third thing is, don't ride into the curb. Either let go of the brakes and go left. If you can't make the turn, go left. Fuck it, you know. It's just all kinds of things there that you need to kind of have almost instinctively to ride safely. And that wasn't a safe moment, but I didn't wreck, and that was the, you know, just knowing enough, having the right things in the right place. Yeah, not something I'm proud of, but I didn't wreck it there, so, you know, we'll go on. Anyway, we need to get some gas, and we'll make the ride up here shortly. Whatever town this is, starts with an S or something, and on 30, instead of taking the 30 bypass, we take 30 business. We're almost at the turnoff. Hopefully this Ferris wheel is still here. Not like the world's easiest place to remember. I love these small towns where they don't have speed cameras like every 15 freaking feet. And they have cool little bars in them, you know, kind of biker bars. And those snow bar places, ice places you can stop in. Always nice to stop in there. Friendly staff, great ice cream, or even sodas or something. So it was here. This carnival was a success. Here we go. So this is Upper Beckleysville Road. Basically take Beckleysville Road all the way, essentially Beckleysville Road. Now, and then I saw another bar, so you get to listen to me ramble the whole time. Then I saw another bar up here, which is a very cool bar. Last time I came up here trying to make sure this was the right route, and because I wanted to take some pictures because I didn't have a video. So now I'm getting the video, but we're going the wrong way. It was too cool to not come back up here again. The last time I came up here, it was dark. I was driving, came in my car, and just when I get out here, it starts to rain just a little bit. So I'm riding around at night, dark ass back roads, middle of nowhere. Starts to rain, and the roads are just like flipping around back and forth, left and right, up and down. And I find this bar, and I'm like, we are there. It was the coolest find of all time. The perfect place to have a bar, exactly. And I hit it, and it was good. So now we're gonna basically pass it. I don't know if I'll go to Red Line, but we'll go to the reservoir at least, and then come back and maybe hit the bar, maybe, and then go to Red Line. Been to Red Line, it's not that exciting. Been there a few times. What is really cool though is riding back and forth across the line, and you hit some of these towns that are right on the line, and it's just like a time warp back into the 18th century. Alright, so this is the route on my last video that I didn't get to shoot because my camera ran dead. Battery ran dead. And we're going the wrong way. So let's see if we can survive it going the right way. And this time, no gravel roads are involved. So, turns out there's a really cool route. That's the other thing you gotta watch out for, these guys and these damn pickup trucks flying around here. Turns out there's a really cool route that goes across this bridge out here, which is out, unfortunately. And then you can circle around, but you can't this time because the bridge is out, so. I also was able to successfully change my oil filter. I just went ahead and bought a stock filter. And I was thinking that the guy that owned the bike before me had done all kinds of weird modifications to the filter to get it to work because they jammed up the oil pressure sensor, and it turns out no, it was just something strange about that particular filter. The filter I ordered worked fine, even though it was different. It was a Cowie filter, but it was a different type, slightly different than the model that I put that was on there. Didn't have a big piece of metal in the middle, but it did have the flow. It did get the sensor to work. So it did take 2 starts before the sensor actually started working, and its oil pressure showed normal and the indicator light went out. So I'm telling you, the goal with this road, man, you come down here and ride this road, is just to survive. It is a little bit heinous. You have to be careful not to get crazy. Just survive the ride. Remember this turn coming the other way very well. I came out of here and I guess we've already passed it. Maybe it was this one right here. No, I think we already passed it. Made a left turn and looked at, there was a damn fence right in front of me. I was like, ah! Ah! I think we've already passed it going the other way. Maybe, we'll see. It was grazing, there was a bunch of animals grazing there. Now this is where the bar is, right here, the A-Town Mini Market and Grill. Stopped in there, it was wonderful. Let me tell you something, buddy, that beer was right on fucking time. So, now you can make a loop here, and this road will hit, I think I should have taken that road right there. Yeah, you stay on Beckleysville basically, so you gotta turn around. It's a non-waiver. We're gonna turn around because we gotta take Beckleysville. Stay on Beckleysville. This brick store. Now let's see what happens if we take brick store instead. Brick store sounds familiar too. More than one way to skin a cat, right? Let's see if it comes back down to Beckleysville. Guess not, because I don't remember any section like this, I'll tell you that. I think we got to turn around. Turn around and make majestic knolls. Oh my God! Look at this place. Look at that dog. That's a big dog. He's ready to run. We're not going to go running and have a dog chase me. Sorry, I'm not chasing dogs today. Hey, puppy. Be a nice dog. Come on, you ready? Good doggy, good doggy. It wasn't a mean dog, which was the most important thing. All right, so we gotta take Beckleysville. That looks like fun coming down there. Damn, see, there's always so many good roads to ride when you go on a good place to ride. It's also a good place to get creamed by somebody coming over that hill. Exactly as soon as I said that, somebody came over that hill. As soon as I said that. Fucking A, man. As soon as I said that, somebody came flying over that hill. But I'm saying you gotta watch these blind hills, man, because you never know what's gonna happen on the other side. I kid you not, as soon as I said that, I saw a pair of headlights in my rearview mirror. All right, so we make this left here. Like, you never know who's gonna come around that blind turn right there, and the gravel's right there in the turn, so don't want to dawdle there. But you gotta be ready to stop just in case somebody's coming around the corner. Things you have no problem doing in a car, okay? Now, bike, different story. Remember that flag thing right there? All right, so that road right there falls, it goes down to the bottom of the reservoir, and then you can loop back, well, to the bottom of the south side of the reservoir. You can loop up back to Beckleysville, across the bridge that is out, unfortunately. And now you can't do it, and it would have been nice to be able to do it, but you can't do it. Okay, so anyway, you come over here. Oh, this may be the death turn down here. Yeah, I think so. Work that clutch. think this is it, yeah. It's at Greystone and Upper Beckleysville. No, it's, yeah, Greystone. Greystone, Upper Beckleysville. And the town to the right here is called Greystone. And we are right now just southeast of the Pretty Boy Reservoir. Now see this fucking turn right here? Was enough to make me come back out here the next night and take pictures. Just to make sure I had the right turn, the right road. This sucker coming up right here. Just ease down into it. Reminds me of another road I was on yesterday going to play golf at some place, and I was like, well, this is a really cool road. And then I hit this section, was off camber, and I was like, God damn, can you imagine being on a bike at this particular point? That's a nice washout to have right there. All right, where is this thing at? I mean, you can't miss it. It's just at an intersection, so we'll definitely see it. There's no way to miss it. Here it is. Alright, so the other side of this intersection right here. I may just have to loop back around so you get the full effect. That fence right there. I'm going to turn around so you get the full effect. We can find a good place to turn around up here. Not really easy to turn around. So this is the reservoir. Stretches through the woods there. Gotta come up here somewhere we won't get killed, almost like I did the last time. And this might do, maybe. Lots of glass. Hopefully nobody behind me. Oh shit. Not the world's best place to turn around, but I have to do. Let's get out of this glass. Alright, so imagine you're cruising down here, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun's a little bit lower than this, you're riding into the sun. Right now it's, I don't know, something like, it might be 4, maybe, I don't think it's 4, my clock says 4. It was late, it was not too much before dark. I'm riding around here and I hit this turn and I go, okay, that's funny. I gotta do, okay, all right, we're just gonna slow down just a little bit. And there were like fucking sheep and horses up there. I was like, oh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Let's turn around and go back the other way. All right, so that was like the high point of this ride. Now, let's see the rest of it. There's a little grass. It was nice to cut the grass and spread it all over the road for us motorcyclists. Let's try it again. Now imagine you're Wes Siller, right? You have to go into that damn post right there or get crushed by a car, like just like that. It's a rule. Make sure you're wearing your gear, people. You ride in that gear. All right, so the rest of it's kind of cool. We'll find a good place to stop for the reservoir. let's go ahead and finish this out for my tape stops. We'll find somewhere else to stop. The reservoir is all around us now, I guess, at this point. We're crossing the bridge. Luckily, that's not a cop. Just a bow hunter looking for someone on a motorcycle to shoot. All right, I'm here, we just heal in the dark, in the night. It's all wet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now your bike turns to the right just fine, doesn't it? Ride around in first gear like I'm actually doing something. See, I don't have a problem going fast on the straights, pal. I just don't have a problem with it. You want to go fast in the corners? I'll go fast in the straights. That's cool. I'm with that. I'm happy. You're 250, you go flying around these corners, 45-degree leaning a little higher all day long. I will happily ride behind you in the straights and catch you in seconds, and then brake before the next turn and let you go right into that corner and tell me if it's, you know, good traction or not. So here's the reservoir. Ta-da! Always impressive to see a reservoir from a wide-angle lens. Not. I know that. I haven't gotten around to put like a 50mm effective lens on this or something. Ugh. It's a little bit too humid. Oh my. A little too humid. We like them with good legs. Oh man, I went to play golf at this course yesterday, and the cart girl was phenomenal. I mean, just a knockout. Using like a quarter throttle right around in second gear. You know, again, the point is not to go flying over these blind curves, or, you know, you see something like that, you want to go, oh, I'm slowing down. I'm doing 30 at most. This turn, I could have gone faster, but discretion is the better part of valor. Ugh. It's like sex with a skanky girl. Skanky girl. Just, nah. Nah. I will pass. Oh yeah, Spooks Bridge Hill Bridge Coast. Now this isn't even as bad as, there are actually roads closer to my house that are better, or more scary rides than this one. This one is just sort of intermediate. I can think of a couple roads. Might hit them on the way back home. I think I can find them. Maybe. Oops, you don't want to ride into the ditch. Always bad to ride into the ditch. It's a moment's relaxation. Next thing you know, you're in the ditch. You're going to be glad when this runs out. You won't be able to have to listen to my mouth anymore. It's not a live goose, okay. All about 50. Just a carousing along. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Let me see. I might be able to. Coming back the other way, but I certainly know where it is right now. And then, you cross the line here, pretty soon you'll be seeing people ride without helmets. Easy, Bucky. Get down there. Let's get down there and make this turn. Oh. 135. The other good thing about riding on back roads like this is you don't have to impress anybody. All you got to do is stay on the bike. You don't have to press a soul. Yeah, somebody went off the road there to the inside. Probably walking. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to get where I want to go. Just following the flow of the road here. Another packy store. I love finding these packy stores out in the middle of nowhere. It's so cool to just say, oh, look, I found a nice cool store. Now we can stop. I think I have to go right there. Yeah, hang on. I think we need to go right. So this is a good place to get hammered. I think we need to go that way. Take this one. Can't miss it. That big piece of metal there. That's why I went wide out there. If somebody put like a nail or something in the middle of the road. I'll be honest, I thought that was where the road was. It was on the right, and no, it was in this damn driveway. I didn't think it was that much of a driveway when I went there. Oops. And that's the other thing I think about speeding is, look, seriously, sometimes it takes you some time to realize exactly where to go, unless you know the road perfectly. And you just think about it, the faster you go, the less time you have to make these kind of decisions and corrections. And man, it's just a simple thing. If you're going too fast, you just don't have time. I don't see how you can ride beyond a certain speed, because if you don't know the road precisely, because you're just too likely to make the wrong decision about what to do and not have any time to correct it when you find out what you need to do. This one's kind of funky. We need to make a left somewhere down here. I'm just doing this plain. Remember, I didn't even record this part of the route, and my phone is dead, of course, because you know it's a phone, Android. Therefore, when you need it, it's dead. Try to keep those front wheels from locking up. Oh, look at this shit. What's going on here? Oh, it's great. I remember this. All right. Oh, I rode the riding advisory for my bike last night when I was looking at the oil filter configuration. And you just read some of the stuff that's in the riding advisory. It's amazing what's in there. You know, and when the roads are wet, it is important to be smooth. You know, don't make sudden applications with the throttle. This is all written before ABS, you know, on a bike that has 175 horsepower. And it's just like any other kind of riding advice that someone who rides a bike without ABS or traction control needs to know. Don't suddenly open a throttle, be smooth when downshifting. Careful when you apply the brake. Don't grab the front brake, smoothly apply it, things like that. And it just makes you wonder, yeah, they tell you not to grab the front brake or be smooth with the throttle, but how do you know how smooth to be with the throttle? How do you know how little to grab the front brake? You know, how do you know when to use both brakes and when not to use both brakes? The devil's in the details, man. It's not a simple issue of knowing having the technical knowledge. There's also the issue of having the sophistication, the touch to ride a bike without wrecking. Because once you get beyond the edge, you very rarely have a chance to come back without wrecking. And that's why I have to disagree with this guy who's saying, you know, he's never going to do a track day of any kind ever again. Because I think that track days, as true they can be dangerous, you can ride into idiots who try to cut you off or undercut you at a turn and knock you over or something like that. Absolutely. But to never ride a track day, I don't know if that would be really good, because the one thing I can see that's good about a track day is it gives you the opportunity to practice your technique. Maybe not to ride the cutting edge of technique, but certainly to ride closer to the center, to the edge of your technique, without having to come way back here in some backcountry road and have to worry about somebody pulling out of that driveway or something like that, you know? But at the same time, if you pick your spots wisely, you can practice your technique safely, and it's a question of going closer and closer and closer to the edge, and then knowing when to back off. It's a question of knowing how to ease up to the edge, and then knowing when to back off. And you don't find these things out unless you try. You do have to try to ride somewhat aggressively and somewhat risky to learn how to ride safely. Because if you don't do that, all you know how to do is ride slow. You don't know how to ride safe. There's a difference. That's why you have people who confuse slow for safe. Just like you have people that confuse low horsepower for safe, lightweight for safe. These things aren't safe. Safe is safe. There's no substitute for riding safely. And it doesn't matter how fast you go or how slow you go, it's how safe you ride. Case in point, when you come to the top of a hill like this and you can't see, you have to slow down to a speed which will allow you to control your spike within the sight distance. Same thing with this turn. You have to control your speed, keep it down to your sight distance. Then when it's straight like this, then you can give it some gas. But again, you slow down, you're approaching the top of the hill. Because you never know what's going to happen on the other side of the hill. You have to slow down. A road like this, you can see everything up there for miles. You see no driveways. You can open it up, but again, you have to open it up carefully, not too much to bring the back end around on your butt. At 4,500 RPMs, ease up to the stop sign. And this is why I say I don't have any patience for a bike that doesn't have any power, because your opportunities to really stretch it out are slim, few and far between. Now, I'm not even sure where to go here. I know where I am, but I didn't know this is where I was going to end up. Let's put it that way. All right, so, oh yeah, I know where I am. Okay, now I know. Let me go back there. This is, we're at the Maryland line on 83. That's why it says Maryland line. We go to take 45. We don't want to go south, we want to go north. There's no turn north there, so we have to go up here. And we're going to go north to the next town. Now, here's the problem. I obviously have forgotten gaps in the route. Not once, but twice. You want to make sure to wave at this guy, make sure he sees you. Always good. One thing that you can do when you're approaching people and they're making turns, wave at them, let them know that you're looking at them, you want to see them pass safely. All right, Stewartstown Road, that's our turn right there, so we missed it. I'm going to turn around again carefully. Make sure we don't lose the front end coming out of that turn. Make sure we don't pull out in front of anybody. You make this left quickly in case somebody's whipping over the hill. Not too quickly that we end up in the trees. Take this into Stewartstown. Cross 83. I totally forgot about that section. All right, so now we have a road that's not quite so great. It might have some gravel on it in places. Got to be careful not to hang out the center of the road there. This is a kind of cool road. It goes into Stewartstown, and we'll be kicking around there a little bit. Ooh, don't want to be taking these turns too fast. 45 in RPMs right now. I wanted that low end to pull me out. Got it. Plenty of speed. Okay, yeah, you could be going faster than this. Not a wise idea. Not to mention it'll piss off the people you're riding by their houses. And there's always a good chance that you'll come around one of these corners, hit some gravel in the middle of one of these glassy turns and wreck. Find somebody making a left turn or pulling out. Hit them dead on. We are almost at the end of this little run. I don't think I really want to go back the way that I did the last time, but not quite down the exact same roads. That's 38 minutes of video right there. Should be well into the first hour of our recording. Still got a little bit of ride left. Here, this guy is slowing down because he's just going to go right, and I barely see his turn signal. So I'm riding, I would say, medium pace for most people who call themselves motorcycle riders. I tend to ride on the slow side of most people who are decent riders. But, like I said, I try to put a premium on not going down, and I'm already doing 10 miles an hour to the speed limit, and I'm on these wacky ass back roads. There's no reason to come flying around down here. You just want to just make it. Oh shit! I'm on the front brake. I need to get off. Look, there's somebody's car wheel up there. Look at that. Did you see that shit? That was a tire up there. I mean, it actually ridden up there on that turn. Oh, fuck me. Luckily, my front brakes are up to this. Ease down here. Oh, he's off the brakes. He's off the brakes. Whew, man. That was a little bit challenge there. That was on the edge of control right there, honestly. Because I was just riding that brake hard. You could say, yeah, I was using the brakes too much, now is why I had so much trouble, but the alternative is to, you know, guess that your tires can make the turn. And I would really rather, I think I needed to go, no, I guess not. Shit. A little too indecisive. All right, here's another wacky ass turn, so we're gonna ride down a little bit on the brakes, moderately braking till we see the bottom of the turn. Cranberries all over the road. This isn't the worst turn. Well, there's another turn up here which is pretty freaking heinous. I can't wait to see if this looks scary at all on the tape. Oh shit, we do not want to break into the gravel. Let's see, now what do I do here? To be honest, I don't really remember. I guess we go straight. I'm thinking that could be wrong, but we'll see. One-lane bridge. Do I remember this? Does it matter at this point? It was either left or straight. I just couldn't remember which one. Yeah, I remember that. So the philosophy is basically you ride your sight distance. If you can see 100 feet, you go 50 miles an hour. If you can see 25 feet, you go 10 miles an hour. You know, you ride to your sight distance. Second thing is you ride to your possible incursions. Now, if you're riding and you see a bunch of driveways, you slow down. You don't see any driveways, you can speed up. This doesn't look familiar at all. I guess I should have made a left back there. See a speed limit sign that says 35, you do at most 45, no more. All right, this looks familiar. Oops. This is what another thing you don't want to have is come over these hills. There's a stop sign right there. That's something you do not want to be fucking dealing with. All right, so we're in. Okay, and that's why I didn't recognize it. We're in this town. I was thinking we'd be behind it, but we're in it. Had to make a right to get up here. Okay, so we would make a left here. I keep thinking I'm past this town. You know, it's like I just keep blanking on sections of this route. As we go north up 841 or 851, something like that. So we have to go across here and make a left. She's picking her ear while driving. That's nice. And we want to go over here. Now, how do we get out of here to go where we want to go? I'll be damned if I know. I'll tell you that right now. I'm drawing a real blank on the next turn. I think it's 17, but I'm not, no, it can't be 17. 17 is where we're gonna stop. Ugh. Try to get a little hot, a little thirsty. Luckily I had a drink in my pocket. Are we gonna go past those two tanks up there? Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Oh shit! Just barely missed him. A little bit too close. A little bit too close to him. Barely missed him. Always remember to aim away from the vehicle before you start braking. That way you don't have to worry about what happens if you run a little bit long. We need to make one of these rights up here somewhere. I'm just not sure where. That might have been it back there, I'm not sure. York 16. Probably was. Nope, this is it right here. Remember this cornfield. Damn, man. Damn! Damn! Like a test. Hickory Road. Those horses right there? Yep. All right. Kurtz scored Rod. Sie geil. Is that racist? No. Just John Stewart. Is imitating a Nazi racist to Germans? Calling it racist is like saying that nobody, see that post? That's not somewhere you want to go. I don't know why they don't have a marker there or something. Oh, you can't mock anybody if everything you mock is racism. If you want to drag knees around that turn, feel free. Sorry, buddy. I'm too focused on getting home in one fucking piece. And I'm not far out enough yet to turn around and come back. Be ready to run out of video any second here. Oh. Now if I can make it back to where I'm trying to go and remember all these turns, I'll be like amazed. I've only done this once. I'm doing it without a GPS, without computer guidance, computer aided memory. Not my cyborg other half. I don't know what that was, I just rode over it. It could easily have been bad. Ugh. Remember this turn. Oh shit! Now what do we do? Second gear, first gear? What's your theory? I think we go to first. Power out of it. All right, now there's another one right here. Let's try this one in second gear. Oh, that looks painful. Woo-hoo. That came up a little faster than I thought it was. I clutched it just a little bit right there. 4,000 RPM. Didn't quite get through it. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Did that look fucking sketchy for a second. Really sketchy. I think I need to make that left back there. Yeah, we need to go back there and make that left. Ugh. I remember that V well. Alright, so let's see where we're going to turn. I guess we'll do that turn right there. Turn around through this guy's driveway. Ugh. After you, buddy. Anytime you're ready. Dolph Road. Alright. See, the difference between like an R3 and this bike is I did that with like a minor twitch of my hand. An R3 would have been full throttle. Careful here when braking, not to brake in the center where all the gravel is. This guy's waiting on me. Come on, dude, go. All these people behind you. I gotta negotiate this fucking gravel. Which is not what I want to be doing today. Alright, so by now you should be well entertained and ready to ride cautiously. Big old rebel flag. I'm a rebel flag. That's not even a minor rebel. And I'm just going to put this damn thing right in front of my house. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Now this is Pennsylvania and Maryland flying rebel flags. Remember that, okay? Now you know you're a badass when you come into a Union state and fly the fucking rebel flag. A big fucking 8x10 foot flag in front of your house. Man, I tell you, some people are so proud about the war. They seem to forget that people were getting shot over that shit not long ago. A lot of people lost, a lot of friends and family because of the Confederacy. That's not something to take lightly. You gotta throw a big old flag like that in front of your house, boy. You're just saying fuck you to a whole lot of people. That kid riding around his yard. Stop. Whew, blind is blind forever. Got more hail and more bugs, I don't know what to do with. And by now you should pretty much have had your fill of turns and shit like that. And appropriately, we arrive at the end of our little jaunt of speed. We're almost back to the little store. Now we're going to ride back on 83 and try not to get killed riding on 83. I missed so much there. I didn't go through, we didn't go up 83 at all, which it definitely happens coming back this way. I barely went through that town. much more back roads riding. Got some thrill and excitement for taking a ride the wrong way and not knowing exactly where the turns were and how they looked. And hitting them maybe just a little bit too fast at times. Still got to see a lot of corn. And we got to ride at our own pace. On Club Road, gotta love it. Haven't had a tractor trailer towing a load of hay pull out on me yet, which is a good thing. Haven't run into any deer yet, which is also a good thing. The dogs stayed on the road, on the side of the road. They don't bite me in the legs, which is also a good thing. To High Rock 3. Luckily I remember this turn because I almost got killed making it come the other way. When accelerating like this, try to look up now and then and don't focus on your tachometer entirely. Always a good idea. Come flying around these corners at 75 miles an hour. Again, I'm using somewhere between like a fifth to a half the throttle, at the very most half throttle. Not even really a half throttle, more like a quarter. Letting the bike just rev up slowly. Not really pushing it hard. Using a lot of RPMs. Not going down in that shit on the right. Not pulling on the brakes too hard. Remember, it's better to pull early and moderately than late and heavy. Not really even riding on the pegs. I'm just moving myself left and right on the seat. Remember this road for sure. There's another creek here on the other side of this woods to the right, which we'll be going over in a second. Always remember to push to the right when you're going left and pull to the left when you're going right. You got to make sure that left handlebar doesn't get confused when you start making these turns back and forth and you forget you're riding a motorcycle. Next thing you're pushing into the turn, you're going down. Steering into turn, you're going down, which is definitely a no-no. Stop. Backcountry roads, my backcountry girl. Kid already got him, an 8-year-old kid. She's still looking sweet in her 30s. Man, oh, so there's a little slip there. The back wheel, got a little slippery. Yeah, I'm mostly just staying on the bike, not really even going hard. I'm definitely not accelerating down here. The road is just slick. Feels a little slick. I don't know why. Just slow it down more than normal. You can see the glaze on the road. Dial it back a notch here. wee bit of condensation. First gear turns. Yeah. Take this bridge. Charge. Keep the bike upright. Whoa, it definitely slid coming over there. When in doubt, use motocross style. Keep the back end upright. Making those tight turns, buddy, you got to keep that back end up because you never know when it's going to go swinging out. Sure did. I came over that hill. It stepped out on me just a little bit. This hill. That's assuming my bike's not leaking oil. Fine spray of oil over the back tire. We fishtail a little bit more than that. This road is about as much fun as you can handle, you know, on a bike safely. This ride. This is definitely going to challenge you while giving you plenty of opportunities to fuck up and wreck. Without being so dangerous, no, just blatantly dangerous. Possibly cars pulling out, shit running out the road. Still relatively safe. I would call this a close approximation of a track day, as much as you really need one. An hour, at least an hour, we're probably out of video by now. Really don't think I have enough to record the shit that I recorded earlier and get me back to this place. Gotta get off the brakes sooner or later. Here's definitely gravel. Bugs slapping me in the nose. And this is it. That was Muddy Creek Junction right there. And we take a right and go back down south, or we can go up here and go to Red Line. I think we'll go up here and go to Red Line. First time I came up here, the guy came out of here with a Harley, riding up here with no helmet. So I just learned about dog gears versus synchronized gears, and I just was reading about the H2 having dog gears and all this kind of shit. Then I was reading about the R1, like in 1998 had dog gears. I said, what? You're telling me all bikes that are what do you call it, sequential gears have dog gears? Like, oh, okay. So then I've been trying some clutchless shifts. Works pretty well. I figured out how to do it. But I gotta look at my manual and figure out whether this says dog gears or what. I think it is dog gears, probably. I'll tell you right now, I just shifted with no problem without using the clutch. Just gotta figure out which way makes more sense. If it has dog gears, I may definitely stop using the clutch on upshifts. Oh yeah, no problem there. I don't know about downshifts, but we'll do it on upshifts. find something to check out tonight when we get home. Ooh, that must be a pizza delivery guy. So now I guess the issue is, we're back to this issue. Right on rides like this, you're not on the highway doing 85, 90 miles an hour. You're on some back road like this doing 50 to 70 at most, right? Well, what bike do you get to do this even this? I still think the more power you have, the better, because it just makes it easier to ride fast. Now you could, you know, it's like, yeah, the simple fact that a 250 will do 70 or 85 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour, or whatever, means it's enough to do that, but obviously you'd have to ride it harder to do that. A lot harder. And I just think that's where people run into trouble. It's riding their bikes really hard when they don't need to, shouldn't, don't have to. They ride them really hard, get into trouble. So you know they're lying on their ass. Now this bike will easily, because you know it's a 1200, will easily get me up to whatever speed I want. How's it going? Hey, see you again. It'll get me up to whatever speed I want fairly easily, and I don't have to worry about acceleration. I don't have to worry about power. That is the benefit of having this bike over a 750, 500, not to mention a 300. The battery left. It's on yellow. That was a fun ride. I'm a little bit tired of it. Adios. Rogue. Alright, so we'll ride back. Red Lion. And then take 83 south into Baltimore. So, cool thing about that was we separated the risk. Very little risk from cars. Most of the risk was just me overriding the road. And now we'll ride in traffic. And we'll ride at a very conservative pace for the road we're on. See how much of the risk is from the cars. Oh, beautiful day. It's getting a little bit chilly. It's starting to get a little bit towards autumn. And sadly, it's going to be time to stop riding. Here's the car. Just thinking about pulling out. Not quite ready to pull out in front of me. Look at that spread, huh? So I still say the big problem with a bike that's small and light, small engine, doesn't make a lot of power, is that it doesn't make a lot of power. It's just that much harder to ride. I don't think you get that much of a benefit from having a bike that's small and light in exchange for a huge loss of power. Just being able to moderately, I'm riding here in 6th gear at 3,500 RPMs and moderately twisting the throttle, just kicking along. Now I hear all these people that are fans of small bikes talking about how, you know, it's much more fun to make a slow bike go fast and a fast bike go slow and all this kind of shit. You know, I would say it's much more fun to ride a fast bike in a fun way than a slow bike in a fun way, because you don't have to work as hard to do it. Now certainly if you're riding twisty roads and they're so damn twisty that the weight of the bike, the bigger bike, the size of the bigger bike cuts into your fun, sure. go ahead and get a small bike. But if not, you're losing a lot of power for nothing. The only advantage I see in riding a small bike that doesn't make much power is it's a cheap bike, hopefully. You don't pay much in insurance, and you get good gas mileage. I mean, those are the only reasons I see to do it. The one thing I would like to change about this bike is I'd like to see it get better than 30 miles to the gallon, and that is about it. And other than the fact that it's been wrecked and I've had to fix it and it's still riding a little funky. But would I trade a Busa for a R3? No. Would I trade a GXR 1000 for a Ninja 300? Hell no. You know, I just like to trade this for a newer 12R that's in good condition and handles properly, and gets maybe 45 miles to the gallon. And I would say that a Ducati 900 899 Panigale would be just about the perfect all-around bike for riding. GXR 750 I found to be a little bit light on power. I've never really been all that enthusiastic about 750s. But somewhere between a 900 and a liter bike, I mean, it's hard to differentiate between a 900 and a liter bike. And anyone who buys a 900 saying, oh, I didn't want a liter bike, it's too much power, it's ridiculous. They're almost the same power. Okay, maybe not as much as an S1000RR or a Reflash ZX10 or 195 horsepower, but it's not like they don't make any real power. I mean, those bikes make a solid 150 horsepower. 120, 130, 140, 150 horsepower. It's not like they're slow. I think once you get into the 900, 1000 cc range, you're talking about a good all-around bike. How could I ride a 750 and be happy? I could do it. Would I want to? No. And that's the issue. Is it enough power? It's enough to meet all requirements. Is it enough to make me happy? No. And I don't think there's any way around that. You're just always, somebody's kickstand right there, always revving the hell out of it, pushing it, riding it hard, a little more than I want to be doing. Just like that, we're in red line. So now we have to figure, oh yeah, we're gonna hit 124 or something like that, 140 or 124. Take that down to 83 and ride back in. I don't really want to spend a lot of time out here today. I've had my ride already. And now I just want to get back home in one piece. And these tires just seem a little slippery for some reason today. I don't know why. I guess I'm just used to riding on warmer roads where the tires were a little hotter and they just had a little bit better grip. I don't know what's going on. The roads up here just seem a little slick. And this bike is just a little feisty. The wheels are just not quite lined up and it's just a little feisty. Would love to be riding a Busa right now. I mean, it's just such a good road bike. I think I've been on this side of red line. Been on the southern side and the eastern side. I don't think I've been on the southeastern side. It's more, kind of the wrong side of the tracks feel. The other thing is, I think, now this is kind of a neat intersection here. We come through here and you get some of the more old town feel. Yeah, this will take you across the bridge or something weird like that. So we want to take that other side. Why we're going to turn around here. What's up, Pops? Look where you're going. Here's his shorts and t-shirt. A brain beater and a pair of sunglasses riding around town. See, the big thing that you run into a lot of riding around Pennsylvania, you come over these hills and there's a stop sign like right here. By the time I got here to be a stop sign. You really have to watch out for that in some of these back roads. Yeah, I don't know if I got oil in my shoes or something, but man, I know I have oil in these shoes because I was. It is definitely loving that oil change, oil and the filter change. Underwear. Now we'll ride back down to basically towards York, or is it south of York? I guess towards Timonium or Towson, whichever one it is. I guess it's Timonium. Now you could take Route 40 and which runs down the side of 83. It's kind of neat. I mean, there's no question I could ride this bike out 68 and out west and just enjoy the living crap out of it. And I kind of really would. Let's go that way. Wouldn't mind riding with somebody who likes riding a Ninja 250 and you know, just let them show me what it's all about, you know, or Ninja 300 or something. Stewartstown. Just doing this all from memory. Since riding these signs is always fun. South? Okay. Stewartstown, okay. It does kind of help to have like a general idea. I mean, you're not going to know every little town, but it does help to have a general idea whether you want to go south or the compass direction you want to take. But that's not going to help you because they don't necessarily go straight south. They go southeast or southwest, or you know, and the difference between the two is easily 50 miles after you've ridden 100 miles. Well, it's roughly, you know, a triangle. But I've ridden up here with no GPS, no map, and just rode the street signs and the directions, and had some good rides on my old bike. Not that hard. You just have to have enough time. And I'm really, you know, trying to get home before dark. Certainly, my days of riding back in the middle of nowhere at night are kind of behind me. I really really need to get one of those little strobe lights that goes on top of my helmet. Got a little safety beacon that goes ween, ween. I think it'd be kind of cool to have at night. I have a travel bag that I used to carry. It has a safety vest and tools and all this other kind of shit in it. Bag. And I don't ride with it anymore. Used to ride with it. It's nice to ride with, but I rarely ride with it now. Because when you're wearing, you know, all black clothes, it's kind of hard to make sense out of riding around at night with no reflector gear at all, and just counting on people to see your headlights and not pull out in front of you and shit. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not worth the risk. More cornfields.